G'day! Hello punters and welcome to the Sunday SHITSHOW, episode 11. Things might look a bit lonely here on the lounge today, but let me assure you everything is all good. We're actually going to strap you in today and take you for a ride down to our favourite creative space on the sunny coast, Studio 53, because today is a special fundraiser for the Noosa World Surfing Reserve. With a Vintage Surfboard Exhibition, we're hoping to bump into some friendly faces, some new people. But before we jump in the wagon and head down there, just want to have a big shout out to all the dads for Father's Day. And our thoughts are especially with those that are alienated from their kids due to whatever circumstances. And we just hope everyone enjoys the day. Okay, let's go.
G'day everyone, Owen here. We're here at the Vintage Surfboard Exhibition 2024. This year is going to be the best one yet. This is a fundraiser for the Noosa World Surfing Reserve. Here at Studio 53, we are rocking. All the boards are set up in the buy, swap and sell. That's just part of this event. We got 80s racks, 70s, 60s, so there's got a whole range of different boards in there. Our art gallery's in here. We got over 40 artists on display. But in here is the vintage boards, which is so cool. Kim Pollards, we've got Nevs, we've got Bings, we've got all kinds in there, like the Big Brewers, you name it, it's all on display. Live music, Paul Camelou setting up right now. This is going to be a great afternoon. Thanks to our sponsors, Matzo Beer, Boiling Pot, Gauchi, the #1 shirt maker and designer of our shirts, and his beautiful artwork. We've got Matzo's Brewing, like I said, a whole bunch of others. Thanks to all of them for making this happen. The World Surfing Reserve fundraiser is go.
Rightio viewers, here we are with the man, the myth, the legend, Tyler. He's in town from Tyler Surf Art. Look out, we've got Nathan Barker coming past in the background.
Hey, Racy too, look at that.
That's called photo bombing.
That's Racy.
Good
photo bomb.
There we go. So Tyler, give us a bit of a chat about what you're doing.
Oh, just living life really. Just been in the van, for a bunch of years now, and just traveling around drawing art, working.
Getting out.
Movement is life, meeting people at the beach, hanging out at cool cats like you, doing this,
Bloody great afternoon. So Tyler used to do Dial 000 videos, if any of you crew were into that. I know I was, so bloody awesome.
The old moto vids.
Yeah, they were good. And he was involved, him and another mate of mine, Trev, were involved with the Fully Tapped magazine. For anyone who was into Fully Tapped, it was one of my favourites.
Just can't keep creative people down,
Can't hold them down, can't hold a good man down. Now you got Tyler Surf Art. So in the background behind us is a heap of Tyler stuff. And if you haven't seen it, don't know what you're missing, and you need some of it hanging on your wall.
Have a look.
Yeah, have a look.
Hey, why not?
So Tyler, where can people have a look at your art? You got a website or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got a website, but I'm not really good with the technical side of it. But my social media link is Surf Art by Tyler. I post on that where I am. So I'm in Queensland now, so I'll be up here for a year. So here in Coolum, Goldie, Sunshine, Noosa, a lot down in Coolangatta and Byron, because I'll be based down in Gold Coast for the next 12 months. So if you're in that kind of area around there, I'm very easily down.
He's accessible, folks.
Yes.
All right, Stu, how you doing? What do you got going on here for us?
Well, Gauchi, Boardcarry's here. We're showing our wares, as you can see. So comes in a nice little environmentally friendly packaging. All your bits and pieces are in there. So more useless than a Swiss Army knife, this bad boy. And we've got 3 boards without fins hanging up over here. We've got 2 with fins hanging up here. Got a single thing behind me, adapts to mals, etc. You can carry snow skis, snowboards, wakeboards, the whole lot in it. Gosh, I don't know what else to say. It's just a brilliant bit of kit. So we like to say, hang it, don't bang it. And these things are just great. Chuck one over your shoulder, you can walk for miles.
And what's the damage on one of them? Does it hurt your hip pocket?
Mate, they're very reasonable, $59.95. And that's for everything, the whole kit. So can't do much better than that, can you?
Good stuff. Would definitely make the long treks to Tea Tree and Granite a lot easier.
Oh, it does, mate. Even to my local, you know, like, I don't know what I sometimes don't want to run down and check it, so I'll just take a couple of boards and chuck them over my shoulder and walk down the beach.
Way to go.
Yeah, a lot of the locals love it, so it's a good way of getting your kid around.
Good stuff.
G'day everybody, here with Adam from Reclaim Surf, and this is the shit show on the loose. We've got on our tube.
Yeah, smell us, yes, doing fine.
So Adam, tell us a bit about what's going on here.
I have been making boards for quite a good while now. I was a bit of a mad scientist making them from old building rubbish and all sorts of things for quite a while, and then Tom Wagner and I got together. He liked to call me the mad scientist. He'd been doing this stuff, which I'd actually made my first ever board, was a comp sand like this with the timber on the outside, and I just found something that was as close as I could get to eco-friendly, or a little bit more friendly to the environment. There's no fiberglass at all. It's all just veneers, cork and water-based varnish. The only resin's holding the fin plates and the leggy plug in place. So you get a really, really fun ride out of them, and the balance, it doesn't end up super corky like an epoxy EPS board. When you've got that glass timber on the outside, you get a real nice balance, sort of in between that PU heel and the Sippy EPS.
Tell you what too, they're bloody light, really light.
Yeah.
So,
and that's with a high density EPS foam. You can do them with like a medium density, like they'll normally use, but we like to use the higher density because this gives you a bit more validity to them and a bit more sitting in the water rather than just really floating from top. So it's a pretty good balance, I reckon.
I can tell you, people want to check them out. Frothers, get on one of the boards from Reclaim Surf, hit up Adam. Where can we find you, mate?
I have got a website, which is reclaim.surf as opposed to .com. And I'm on Instagram as reclaim_surf. So any of those ones, that obviously you can't get down here today, but you can check out the Instagram or my website, and I'll be happy to get in touch and talk about a custom board for you.
There you go, crew.
That's sick.
Froth on.
You. Go, Stu. How good are these? What have we got here? Original Pang Town and Country. Pretty mad. It's hot stuff.
That'll suit you, Gelt.
How good's that? That is, that's a bit like I was riding in the 90s,
Yeah.
Comes along up here. Get everything. Mad old brown. Yeah, Brothers Nilsson.
And then look at this.
This thing that, it's almost like a boat. Look how thick it is. That's got to be 4.5 inches thick.
And
The 5 summer stories, yeah. That's mad. Rick Griffin artwork there.
Please make welcome Mr. Neville Hyman.
Well, I'm a ranger from Western Australia. Named Neville. It's a pretty bad start. It's like a boy named Sue. And lived an hour and a half from the beach. And started making surfboards, and all of a sudden chicks started and find my way, you know.
They must have been good
It's the only
surfboards.
reason, yeah, it was the only reason I did it. And yeah, fringe benefits. And no, but seriously, it's surfing it's life changing, and it was life changing for me at a very young age. And I was able to, you know, I was there when the first Tracks magazines came out, and I was impressed with this bloke, and the whole experience of the culture of surfing was something that I wanted to do, and making surfboards, being a little bit crafty, was the thing that I wanted to do and needed to do. I wasn't the world's best surfer, being mentored by another guru surfboard shaper to become somebody special. I just started making surfboards, and living in Western Australia was just the most cosmic and gorgeous place to live. But all I wanted to do was leave WA and go to Burleigh Heads, because I was a natural foot and I wanted to get barreled at Burleigh Heads.
Well, before you did that, you'd set up. You'd gone from being a backyarder, making customs in your dad's garage, right? What were they like?
When I look at boards from the early 70s and I go, oh my God, that's beautiful, that's amazing. Look at some of these here, and then look at mine that I've managed to find a couple, and they're so bad, it's ridiculous. But one of my most amazing moments was I got out of my dad's garage and set up a surfboard factory in Canning Highway, you know, an hour and a half from the beach. And there's a knock at the door. And we're making surfboards in this house. There's a knock at the door. It's Ian Kent. Oh my God. It was my hero. It would be like Kelly Slater rocking up at your door and going, "Hi, I'm Kelly." And Kanga go, and I'm going, "Yeah, that's cool. You know, you make boards. You want to come and display your boards at the trade show in Perth, at the Perth Concert." So yeah. I was pretty much a grommet that was just excited about surfing and making boards.
But by that time, was it Odyssey?
Yeah, so I started Odyssey Surfboards and hand drew all the logos and did all that, you know, seagulls and suns and the stuff you did in the 70s. And Odyssey became one of the brands in Western Australia, but by 77 I was going. I'd been to Burleigh during the Australian titles at Burleigh that MP won in 73 or 74, and I went, I've got to come back here, and so I did.
Cool. Okay. The Wayne Lynch involvement surfboard, which is one of the most famous surfboards of that transition period from the late 60s through the early 70s. And you were a key element there with John Arnold, as I mentioned in the introduction. He was about the biggest wheel in the surf industry at that time, and there you are shaping Wayne's boards for John Arnold with, I presume, some kind of involvement from the fish himself. Was he there all the time or occasionally?
Occasionally, but it was more the some surfers which I've sort of admired for a long time. It was Wayne Lynch himself as a surfer, MP Michael Peterson from the Gold Coast, and another shaper by the name of Earl Pedersen. There's three people I've sort of admired and looked up to for their profession and their attitude and their approach to the industry of what they put into it and what they get out of it. And there's been so many other young surfers that sort of come through. And with MP on the Gold Coast, I've never seen anybody get back so deep in Kira as what he used to and sort of come out of it. But back to your question of in South Australia, it was an area as I said, a person I admired in the surfing industry, and by being part of the production of the boards which were being sent to the States, it was such an enjoyment in that time frame. And also with the location of it being right in the centre of CBD Adelaide, the four levels of it was the retail store downstairs and the manufacturing process was on the upper levels above it.
So this is a 6'4" mid-length twin, well not mid-length twin, really, this is my board that I machined this morning, and that's taken straight off the computer exactly as you see it. I haven't touched this board. I haven't put a screen on the rail. I haven't adjusted the channels. You can see all the grooves. And instead of hiding that, in other words, instead of finishing a board and saying, oh well, you know, if I was to finish this board, as in screen it off and everything. It'll take me about 7 or 8 minutes to finish it. And that's a 6-channel EPS. And but what's the point of finishing it when actually you can glass it like this? So when you were making boards in the 70s, you had to do perfect tape ups, you had to do pin lines, and if there was a scratch on the board, you couldn't sell it. Now all these bloody hipsters, there's a few here today, isn't there? A few millennials, yeah, a few up the back there. Hey, how cool is that? Like a free lap, you know? And it's cool. My son's board is over there. But anyway, reason I'm showing you this is that I've just put tint in the resin to actually show off the fact that we're machining the board 100%. So it's even got a moth stuck in the deck. But if you have a look at these later, you can see the lines of the machine in the channel bottom. Now the interesting thing is that all the lines, you can see the lines going this way, and there's the shadows going that way from the machine. They add mechanical bond in the lamination. So it's a better lamination. And on top of that, my board that I've got in the truck is an epoxy 611, but it's only 2 and 9/16 thick, so it's not very thick. And it's 611, and I thought, and there's no carbon and no stringer, so it's an EPS aero blank, machined straight off the machine glass, and I thought it was going to be too flexy as I surfed it. Not enough tensile strength, and feels fantastic. So the point being is that all these lines add reduced torsional flex, which is twist from rail to rail, which you don't want to have too much of that. You want that spring back. But it also, these have got stringers because they're both PU, but I know that I can do boards with stringless boards now, and they're incredibly strong and have that beautiful feeling that epoxies do have. And but it's all about, for me personally, it means that, well, my boards could be made anywhere in the world if my boards are machined like this, because there's I'm not having other shapers finishing off the pre-shape. They will come off the machine exactly like this. If I want to do copies of a Jerry Lopez or a Brewer, which I'm intending to do, the amazing thing about the program, if you know anything about CAD design, is the algorithm that's in Shape 3D. This wood board here is owned by a guy that says it's Neville. His son is this big, and his board is 4'2" by 15 1/8 by 1 7/8". It came off that board. All I had to do, I'm not kidding, is that's 5'10". I just typed in 4'2", 15 1/8 to 1 7/8", and the algorithm reduced that board down to 4'2" perfectly. I wouldn't have wanted to hand shape a 4'2" board, right? So that's why this is so important for surfboard design in our industry, to be able to do these things, to get a master. Like, I've got master copies now. So I have a master of that board, which means that I can turn that board at 5'10" into, recently Bob Hurley, I'm dropping names, but Bob Hurley is an incredible shaper. He's a wealthy guy, can get boards for everybody on the planet. And I had this 5'6" board that came off the same file as this, and I turned it into a 6'2" for Bob Hurley. I then measured the rocker on it. It was exactly as I would have done it if I'd hand-shaped a board. So I'm just saying, embrace technology, because it's going to take our craft so much further. With really good high-quality EPS blanks like Aerofoam, stuff that shapers are doing also. With the guys that are doing the hemp glass, that is amazing. I'm meeting with the boys tomorrow. We're going to have a look at that. Incredible. So boards are definitely lasting longer. Like, a good epoxy glass job, lamination on an EPS blank, they're going to be around for a while. And especially, I wish everybody got tints like that, because then those boards there are going to look like that in 20 years' time. If every board, all the white boards just go yellow, as we know, but the current epoxies don't yellow as much. And I think they'll be around more.
Any questions from the floor? Feel free.
I have a question for Les. What was it like on the Sunshine Coast when you had the surf shop and everything on the beach there, you were shaking boards, your family was growing up, everything else? How was it for you back then? What the change from now to what it was then?
From the change in that era, it's as a chap over the background, I don't know whether he's still there, is Barry Calder. I've served with him for quite a period of time, and it's been an area where we used to go out and sort of have a few waves together. Now there's, as I mentioned a bit earlier, there's so many more other surfers enjoying this sport that we did. But it's great. It makes people go a lot more adventurous into different areas, locations, and spreading out to more locations along the beach itself. Just a quick one, what Nev mentioned about shaping a board in comparison to the machine unit. I did 2 boards for a pair of twins by hand. I did them in separate stages in each one, but at the end of the complete board, both of the girls had swapped boards because there was something different in those boards. So to make a handshake board exactly the same, I feel myself, it's like a little bit impossible because this is something you do different for that individual, what that person has found in that board to go for surf. But from the change of the people coming to the coast of a Friday night, used to stick the boards on the top of the car and come up. Now they just stick them in the back and you don't see how many people come until you wake up next morning. They're on their mobiles, texting their mates, okay, the surf's up, let's go for it and have a good session. Yeah, as far as riding everything, the thing with surfing I found, if you sort of look at how much time you have to sort of surf, you can sort of put some disappointment to yourself by going to something too advanced. If your time is limited, to be able to pick up some fun, pick up your board and just go and have some good times and good fun on it. So in that particular area of having some equipment so you can enjoy it, is to sort of have a look at yourself, and it allows you sort of to progress and also enjoy the whole format of surfing itself, what Nev has mentioned.
Okay, that's all we've got time for tonight. So thank you all for your attention, and would you please give these guys a huge thank you. Mr. Les Purcell, Mr. Neville Hyman.
Yeah, I'm speechless. That's incredible. I've just got a couple of gifts here for our wonderful guests and our presenter here. Well done, Phil, once again. Guys, that was amazing. Really, really was. And to me, every person here has experienced something very special, because these three gentlemen here together doing what they just did will not happen again in this place, ever. And that's what we do here. You know, this is the Sunshine Coast community. We're raising money for the Noosa World Surfing, and this is what this is all about, everyone. This is about raising money for a cause that is absolutely amazing. Thanks to Phil and one of the founders of this, basically it's Phil, that made Noosa Surfing Reserve happen. And this has got to continue on, not just for our generation, but other generations, because this is bigger than us.
Let's have the final word from Kira. And thanks again, Alan.
Yeah, guys, I did say it. It's a lot of tricky work that we do, and we take a lot of time that we don't get paid for to do it. So yeah, thank you to Phil for starting the National Surfing Reserve and then Noosa World Surfing Reserve. It is a global scale and run under an organisation called Save the Waves. So some of the things that we're doing at the moment is actually looking at protective legislation to protect the Noosa World Surfing Reserve and any future World Surfing Reserves within Queensland from any development or anything that would change the bathymetry of the wave. So looking into what's happening with the sand there and understanding that better as well, from everything like park safety to installing defibs, so that everyone's safe within the reserve. And there's there's 13 World Surfing Reserves around the world now, and we all communicate to help each other make the places better that we have and protect what we have and those quality waves. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone's support tonight, and thanks for coming out. Thank you to these guys for a great conversation. So good to hear.
Oh, look at that, that's awesome. Wow, that's so good.
Thank you. What I'm giving our guest speakers is a personal airbrushed piece of work, which are actually both recycled from materials that I've gathered over the period. As I'm sure Neville will recognise, the resin from the catchment in the Shaken Bay, and I upcycle them to. But they're kind of more of a personal thing that they're made from upcycled materials with a personal touch. So thank you. And Phil was one of our Vintage Surfboard Exhibition t-shirts. There's only a few of them made, so yeah, thanks a lot, Phil. And if anyone's keen for a bite to eat before they leave, the pie shop's still open. The guys have generously been here and looked after us tonight with food and so forth. But thank you guys. I can't thank, but I really want to do a shout out to all you people that came and enjoyed this evening, because this is really, really special. And without you, this doesn't happen. Cheers.
That's it for this episode of the Sunday Shit Show. Remember, if you want to get on the good shit, get on the Sunday Shit Show. You.